Would you like some inspiration to get into the fall season but without breaking the bank? Then I definitely think you are in the right place. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina, and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. And in today's video, I have 3 awesome autumn decor DIYs that is looking very high end but won't cost very much to do, and some of these items I'm pretty sure you have on hand already. However, before we get started, if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a new video. Plus, we would love to have you here, part of our virtual art family, where we do a lot of DIYs with an artistic twist. And also, I am trying to reach the goal of 15,000 subscribers by October, and I really think that we can make it. I just need a little bit of your help. So if you are already a subscriber, don't forget to do all of the YouTubey things down below, which is like, comment, and share it to at least one friend. It really does help out. Now, with all that being said, let's just jump right into it and let's art today. For this DIY, you are going to need any type of glass jar or vase or vase, depending on how you say it. And I have this one from Dollar Tree, which is their largest cylinder one that they have. Now you can use any shape also. Next, I have these metal flakes that I want to add to my little glass jar here. Now, the first thing I am going to do is take a very long paintbrush, because this jar is really deep and my hand couldn't fit all the way down, and this just makes it a little bit easier. I'm taking a little bit of Mod Podge, putting it on the end of my paintbrush, and now I'm painting on these little squiggly lines all on the inside of my jar. I do suggest doing one at a time, that way you don't get glue everywhere. Next, I'm taking some of these gold metal flakes that I purchased from Dollar Tree a couple years ago that I still have a ton of, and I'm adding it right on top of the glue squiggly line that we just placed down inside of our jar here. Now, I know that there is other glues that probably will work better for this, but the Mod Podge usually works good for me. And once I have it all covered, I am going to continue doing the same exact thing all over the inside of my jar. After a couple of minutes, it should look like this, and like I mentioned, it is all over the inside of the jar. Now, you can do it on the outside if you want to, but it just looks a little bit more high end when you do it on the inside. I did wait for it to completely dry, because the next step, you need them to be dry so that it doesn't fall all over the place. You're also going to need a really fluffy paintbrush. I just had this one on hand, and I am gently wiping the excess off. It will start falling off all around where you glued it onto, so that you have more of a clear view of where you glued everything down. Now, since this is in the inside of my jar, all I had to do was wipe down, and it fell all the way down to the bottom, and that way I can remove the excess after I was done wiping everything down. Next, as you see here, this is what the jar looks after it was clean, and it only adhered down to all of the squiggly lines that I have placed on the inside. Next, I have my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Oatmeal, because I just wanted something a little bit more neutral. However, you can add whatever color that you like on top of your metal flakes, but I just wanted to keep it more neutral because of the fall season. I'm pretty sure if you even add black, that will look gorgeous as well. Now, I did use a chalk paint because I thought the thicker paint would be better to hide all of the little crevices in there that the gold flakes have on the rigid edges, and so I didn't have to use many coats. This is how it looks after it is completely dry, and it does cover all of the outer edges of those gold flakes, and it looks gorgeous. Now, for this glass jar, you need to seal it on the inside. You can use Mod Podge if you want to, or some sealant, but I advise if you're going to add real flowers in here, you need to seal the inside. Now, since I'm going to use a fake floral, I'm using my pool noodle hack, where you just cut off a piece of a pool noodle, and I like to leave it a little bit over the vase. That way when you add your florals right into it, it will be overflowing and it looks more busty and full. So as you see here, since it is a pool noodle and it is foam, the floral picks fit right into there. I did add all sorts of different leaves and also this little pumpkin on some pipe cleaners, tied it around the pool noodle, and that completes this DIY. I absolutely loved how this glass jar turned out, whether it be a vase or just a decorative piece that you could put on a bookshelf. This thing really only took a day to make. The longest process is really just waiting for the glue to dry and the paint to dry, but I just think it's well worth it because you can make something so cheap look so high end. And remember, you can add whatever you want to the inside. Just make sure that you seal the inside. I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comment section below. For this DIY, I have this really thin wooden board that I've had in my crafting stash for a really long time. My spouse picked it up for me a while back and I am ready to make it over. Now, you don't need this specific board. If you have any flat wooden board or even a canvas, this DIY will still work. The first thing I needed to do was sketch on what I wanted to actually make, and I am drawing on a pumpkin. Now, you can look up reference. You don't even have to draw if you do not feel comfortable doing that. You can always print out a picture and then add it on that way. However, I love to paint and I love to show you that it's not that hard for little projects like this. So I am sketching on a pumpkin, and since it is too big for my actual board here, I am pretending that it is much larger so I get the right measurements going. Really, you just need to make these little curvature lines going outwards, and then a little oval piece for the center, and then a little stick for the stem. I'm first going in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory because I just think it's so pretty and it just gives me a base color to start off my painting. I'm going in with a flat brush, a small one, but you can use whatever brush that you like. My suggestion would be here is to go with the actual curvature of your sketch here so that when you add paint on top of it, it starts to look like a real pumpkin. Now, I like to start off with chalk paint with projects like these. That way it adds as a base coat, and also since it is much thicker, when you add other paints on top of it like a regular acrylic paint, the layers will seem more in depth, if that makes any sense. So after I have enough of that paint down, I then start going in with my apple barrel acrylic paints. These paints you can pretty much find everywhere, and I believe this color is called Outrageous Orange. As you see here, I'm going on top of the paint that we just already laid on, and also on the outer edges of the places that we did not add paint to, because you want to get a richer tone around the edges of our little lumps of our pumpkin. I do start adding other colors like yellows and a little bit of brown to add some of those shadows where it needs to be and some of the highlights. Now, with this technique, I do not wash my brush whatsoever. I may add some water onto the tip of it just to make the paints blend in a little bit better, but I leave my brush dirty throughout the whole process, and it gives that natural blending technique, at least with acrylic paints, and that's why I love to use them so much. Remember to take your time and just continue adding layers. Now for the stem of my pumpkin here, I am going again with my apple barrel paint in the color Nutmeg Brown. I do add it to where we put on our little sketch, and then I will add some highlights, place that to the side so that it had time to completely dry. I love this DIY so much that I wanted to make a second one. I have this really small square wooden board. Once again, my spouse found it for me while they were at work, brought it home, and it matches perfectly with the board that we just painted. I am adding another pumpkin, but this time I am going in with a different color. Once again, I'm making these little curved lines going outwards to make our curvature of the pumpkin, and then I will start adding in all of the colors. I first go in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory, and then I go in with other colors to make it a little bit different. While I continue to paint, I just want to reintroduce myself. Hello friends, my name is Justina and I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. And if you happen to be new here, I hope you stick around by hitting that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free and we would love to have you here, part of our virtual art family. I also have other social friends. I have a Facebook, Instagram, a Buy Me a Coffee, and also a Patreon page. All of those links will be down below. I would love for you to head over there and check that out as well. Remember, if you are enjoying today's video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, comment down below which one was your favorite, and also share it to at least one friend. It really does help out. Now, as you see here, I am filling up this pumpkin using different colors of a aqua and blue hue, just to add a little difference in variations of each pumpkin. Once again, I'm filling up the stem using my apple barrel paint in the color Nutmeg. I set that off to the side to completely dry, and that completes this DIY. I absolutely love how our pumpkin boards turned out. Once again, you can get a really high-end look for just doing it yourself, really taking the time and having fun with it. It was absolutely a blast to make this one, very therapeutic for me, and I just love the outcome of it. Remember, you can always seal your paintings so that it will last longer. Love to know what you think about this one. For our next DIY, I have this Fall Sweet Fall sign that I purchased a couple years ago, back when the 99-cent store was open. I really missed that store. It really had some great decor, especially for the holiday season. Now, like I said, I purchased this at the 99-cent store for $1.99. However, they do have similar signs at Dollar Tree every year that you could still do this DIY with, because we're not doing much to it. First thing I needed to do was remove some of those protective cardboard pieces from where you actually hang the sign up on your wall. Next, all you're going to need is some fall leaves. Dollar Tree sells fall leaves every year, all different shapes, colors, and sizes, and I just had a couple lying around in my crafting stash that I am using up. I'm really trying to keep this budget friendly, so whatever you have on hand, it is now a good time to use. So as you see here, I laid a bead of hot glue on the back portion of our sign here and adding those leaves facing forward, because I wanted this to look like leaves was just popping out from the back of it. It gives it another texture and such a different look once everything is glued down. That is pretty much it for this part. You just want to continue adding leaves all over. You can add a lot, you can add little, you can add it on one side, whatever you feel comfortable with, but I did add it all over my sign. I did leave some spacing here and there so that it didn't feel so overwhelmed, at least for my liking, but remember, you can change it up however you want to make it. The possibilities are pretty much endless here. You just need a little bit of hot glue on the outer edges of your frame here. This sign can actually be removed on the inside. If you see those little hooks there, that means you could pull them back and you can actually use the image on the inside, which I've done before in a previous DIY. After I was done adding all of the leaves on the back side, I did flip over my sign, and I have some of these fake sunflowers in my floral decor that I just wanted to add on to the sunflowers that were already on my image, just to give it another 3D look and really make this sign pop. But that completes this DIY. This sign took very little effort to really make it look high-end, at least in my opinion. Absolutely love the fall leaves on the back side of the sign. It really makes it look more fuller and more fallish for the fall season. I absolutely love it, and I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in that comment section below. Alright friends, that completes this round of DIYs. I really had fun making each and every one of these, and they really look high-end to me. I've been to a couple of stores already, and I've seen a couple of decor pieces that look similar to the DIYs that I've created in today's video for you, for so much more to actually buy than to actually make. And I just think it is really just not a smart move to buy something so expensive when you can just make it at home for cheap or even free if you have everything on hand. I would love to know which one was your favorite down in the comment section below. And if you had made it this far into the video, I would love for you to put down a pumpkin emoji in the comments as well. I always love to see all of the emojis down there. It really makes my day, and it really lets me know who the VIPs of my channel are. Remember friends, if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. It is totally free, and we would love to have you part of our virtual art family here. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you being here. But don't forget to do all the YouTube things down below, which is like, comment, and share it to at least one friend. It really does help out. I am trying to reach the goal of 15,000 subscribers by October, and I really think that we can reach it. So if you can help me out, it would be deeply appreciated by me. Also friends, I do have other socials. I have a Facebook, Instagram, Buy Me a Coffee, and also a Patreon page. All of those links will be down in the description box below. I would love for you to go over there and check it out, and at least say hi if you do decide to become a member. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a blast making these, but I have to get back to it and make some more DIYs for you. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.